This is a drone video of our one of our large properties here. 61 acres it looks like. Check the map to verify that, I guess. In Camden County, right up by the Lake of the Ozarks. We pulled off one of the paved road access points. We just launched the drone. You can see that trail. And of course there's the Lake of the Ozarks. That's about a mile east of the property. So super close to the property. Look back down where we parked, that messy looking area. That's what the loggers would call a landing, and that's where they would drag the trees to load their trucks, sometimes cut them to length, so that's why that looks kind of messy like that. So looking basically toward the east, I guess, and I think we'll go north, face north in a moment, and we'll just fly over this property and have a good look at it from the air. This is really kind of a cool one in that it has paved road frontage on two sides. On the north side, it's got quite a bit of frontage on, I think it's Pine Cove Road. Yeah, Pine Cove Road. And then on the southwest side, it's got frontage on, boy, you'd think I'd be more prepared. I believe that's Cliff House Drive, and that's where we pulled off and parked. There's power directly on the property, so that's covered. We're flying to the north here. To kind of see the topography, to see how the land lays, you can look at the topo map, which should be in the listing. It's got some flat areas, it's got some sloped areas. It has what appears to be a small creek, although it may just be a wet weather creek. We really haven't explored this property on foot at all. We've seen it from the road, and then we've walked on it just a little bit, but it's a large property. I mean, you could spend weeks exploring this one. So slowly heading to the north. This was logged a few years ago, and it was certainly not clear cut. You can see there's quite a few medium and large trees left, but parts of it were logged heavily. So we've got thousands and thousands of young trees growing up, and then some mature trees as well. So we're still basically directly over the property. You can see a trail toward the right side of the screen. Well, until I just pan the camera straight down, you could. But you'll find several trails on this property. They're not easements or anything. They're private trails on the property. If you look to the upper right corner, that is the little, I think the community fire station. And that is just across the road from the northeast corner of the property. So we're still directly over the property. That's actually a really solid looking trail right there. Until I saw this drone video just now, I didn't even know that existed, so that's pretty cool. So many possibilities for this one. Dozens of places to build or set up your camp or campsite. We've personally spent quite a bit of time just up in this area at the lake because the last 2 years my family and I have rented a home up here and taken our vacation right up here. Really, I believe like 3 or 4 miles from this property. We rented a place. You can find some deals sometimes, and we rented the same place right on the water, and just had an absolute blast. It is a great section of lake. It's what they call, I guess, the family-friendly end of the lake. So a lot of families tubing, and we saw a couple water skiers, but a lot of tubing, a lot of fishermen. You don't really see the big power boats and that kind of stuff that you'll see down toward Camdenton, Camdenton is more known as, I guess, the party area. and we prefer the family-friendly area. And we got out there and had a couple jet skis and rented a pontoon boat that could pull a tube, and we just had a blast. Really nice area, and friendly people all over. So I mean, if you're looking for a place to have a vacation home or something like that, this is just a fantastic area. To have a property this large and be, literally a minute, 2 minutes from the water. There's a really good public launch, probably the best I've ever seen, just 3 or 4 miles north of this property. It's called the Brown Bend Access, and it's a Missouri conservation launch. There's a fishing pier, great parking, bathrooms, and a fantastic boat launch. You can launch any boat you want from right there. And that's, like I said, just 3 or 4 miles north of this particular property. So easy access to the Lake of the Ozarks. Panning back around on the property. That gives a pretty good look right there. And there's the lake. Like I said, the lake is within about a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter of the property by air anyway. Not much further by road. Cliff House Drive goes right down to the water. And Pine Cove, I believe, ends at the lake as well. Now we're heading back to where we started, I believe, toward where the truck is parked, which is at the southwest side of the property, just off of Cliff House. We just pulled the truck right off. I don't know if it was an approach or not, but it was an easy access point. Huge property. So many possibilities on this one. It's fantastic. Bring your four-wheeler, bring your hiking boots. I mean, you can have a great time up here and check this out. Lots of stuff to see and do. If you have access to jet skis, you should bring those because you can plop them right in the water at that Brown Bend access. It's fantastic. Great area of the lake for that. If you're into water sports or skiing or any type of fishing, this portion of the lake is great for that. Nothing against the partiers, and that's a fun section of the water too, I'm sure, but if you don't want to get crazy and you don't want huge power boats whizzing by while you're trying to fish or enjoy life, then this section of the Lake of the Ozarks is probably right up your alley. So I believe we're coming to the end here. It looks like there's another trail which leads back toward that landing where we're parked. Yep, good trail system through here. That's a really nice bonus. Camdenton is, I believe, about 20 miles toward the east. You can go to the west for about the same distance and be in Warsaw, Missouri, which is a fairly good-sized town. Climax Springs is just down the road. It's basically just a convenience store and a bank. And there is a Dollar General a few miles from this property as well. Really nice property right up at the Lake of the Ozarks.